Yo, 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 it's Fran Bottio. I have just witnessed a crazy final zone in KvK. BERN Alliance going up solo against 3 alliances. Let's get into it, gang. So you can see them in first place there. Nemesis has a large portion of migrants at the moment that have crossed over, so their power is not fully correct there. But as the zone opens up, the BERN Alliance started pushing forwards immediately, trying to push one of these teams straight out of the Dragon Zone, which was actually their hardest fight. This is RSXG, the Gorillas. Here's Nemesis. They were pushing forwards with the flags, getting the flags planted towards the Dragon Zone as quick as possible, followed by HTC, the third team, helping them all out against the BERN Alliance. You can see the fight was unfolding here. They were really pushing, good numbers on both sides. BERN Alliance had a lot of T5s, and people were thinking that they were going to win it this time round, but unfortunately, the people they'd teamed up with got locked, I believe, in Zone 1 or Zone 2, so they were unable to help them in the final zone, and just the 3 alliances were just too much. BERN Alliance made a Bastion here. Remember this Bastion, you're going to need to remember this shortly. They started playing really aggressive at the beginning, trying to push the teams out as quick as they could. Nemesis managed to push forwards here as they pushed up to try and help the Gorilla. We're calling the Gorillas, which is RSXG. They tried to push up just to relieve some of the battle going on there, to try and help out before the flags reached the point where they could help as much as they could. But they pushed forwards here, and as you can see, the other team is fighting them just to take a few of a few people away from BERN, to focus on both sides of the war here. Yeah, but it was really, really cool to witness. Credit to both sides, by the way. High participation on all sides. As you can see, Panda has used the skill here as we're pushing forwards. And yeah, the idea here weren't to win per se, but just try and keep the battle going on at the bottom as much as possible, so the Gorillas can hopefully gain some extra ground as this is going on. Awesome to watch, awesome to watch. Like BERN Alliance to push, seeing that there's Nemesis are there and they're pushing forwards. Again, this was just to try and alleviate some of the other side, to try and help them push forwards. A lot of cavalry just waiting, protecting that flank from BERN. Now, like I said, BERN Alliance were really strong. I believe they were undefeated till this KvK, and you can see why. They got a lot of high participation, a lot of T5s, and like I said, a lot of spenders or people from older seasons have come to join them as well. So yeah, credit to them as well. We've just got this showing here, which is just fast forwarded. You can see Nemesis at the bottom there fighting BERN, and the Gorillas are top right. Remember I mentioned the Bastion? Now you need to remember this, right? So it is currently getting rallied. Gorillas trying to protect the rally from any other infantry from BERN entering. But this, honestly, wait until you see some of the reports. Their infantry inside this Bastion was really strong. You can see here, Nemesis pushed forwards as they were trying to get to help their Bastion. And they flanked them and come from behind. It was perfect how they did it. So they trapped them guys here on the right hand side. They had nowhere else to go but just to try and fight as much as they could before dying, which was awesome. You can see this report here. This is from one of the Bastions, I believe. Yeah, so this is the Gorillas versus BERN, Kuma and Lee, which you will see this a few times. Very, very strong. Very, very strong. On both sides, to be fair. Like I said, we were double rallying them. They were getting double rallied, so it was the Gorillas and Nemesis, and they were there. They just, some of the trades that BERN came off with, really good. But credit again to both teams. They just carried on fighting. Losses did not matter. They were determined. As you can see here, they're pushing up forwards there. Someone managed to call in one of the behemoth. Just trying to, it's got fog of war as well. It's all fogged out as well on all sides. You can see some of the comments here. This was on World Chat why the fight was going on. I always love to have a little look at World Chat. Even if I can't participate, we have a little look at the World Chat. Everyone raging and, making fun both sides, all sides believe that they're going to be the winner. Right, so the guerrillas planted their alliance castle again there to try and cover that space and start planting flags around the dragon. I've put this in, we've speeded this up so you guys can get a good idea of how it was unfolding. But it's funny, like sometimes though the war isn't war, even though this was the biggest part of the fighting, the actual war was just won over time. You'll see shortly, BERN could just not keep up. This just went on for, it lasted for like 2 days, but stamina from the heroes and resources and stuff like that probably became a large portion of the issue for them. Fighting 3v1, yeah, you're up against it. You're automatically up against a tough fight. So you can see the rallies here on the Bastion. So another part of the team have just died there. And you'll see some of the trades. Like you can see, so Elon, BERN's other alliance that they use to jump into sometimes, and you can see some of their trades there. They really come off well on some of these trades. And again, it just comes down to persistence. The other team carried on, just pushing forwards, man, pushing forwards, not giving in, keep on hitting that Bastion until it was gone. Guys, if you're new as well, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe. As you can see in the top right there, I do appreciate it. As you can see, yeah, all alliances are trying to fight it, and they were using the other rally to try and fight their rally as well at the same time, doing everything they could to stop the enemy from taking this Bastion. So it was like a fight for the Bastion. I believe that this KvK came down to that. If BERN if they'd have won that and kept on winning, I just think that they might have got their upper hand. The steam started to run out slightly. But like I said, on both sides, credit to them. Is another report there. Massive deaths for Nemesis there, 2.4 million. I believe Nemesis were using a cavalry. Yeah, they were using cavalry. Unfortunately, there was no one available with max decos or anything like that to use infantry. So they were just doing what they can to help out to try and get this Bastion gone. But unfortunately, I didn't manage to capture how the Bastion went down in the end, because it happened while I was asleep. But I did manage to get a large portion of the war going on here. Awesome reports, guys. Awesome reports. Massive deaths on both sides. Hopefully they can get to recall some of them at the end of the season and get some of it back. Nice. Kuma, Lee. And yeah, this is where then they started trying to take some of the flags on they went to the left hand side to try and see if they could push Nemesis back to get round to getting the dragon, as you can see here. But he held it off till 9 o'clock at night. And in the end, it just wasn't enough, unfortunately, for BERN. And yeah, the guerrillas secured the dragon. And well done to all sides. And hopefully we see you guys in the next SOS. I do appreciate it. If you guys do enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe. We'll see you all in the next one. Peace.